Once it's capped honey, it's ready, so to speak. Capped honey, or honey that's been capped and you take it out from there, will never go bad. It's the only food that never goes bad. They've gotten crystallized honey out of the tombs of the pharaohs. You warm it up so it's liquid again, it's just fine. It never goes bad. If you take it before it's capped, then it's not done, and you'll have it for maybe 2-3 weeks, and then it'll start going rancid. When you take the capped honey, or they do it, they say you need to make sure about 80% of it is capped. Mixed with the other, it's fine. You don't have to make sure every single cell is capped, but you want about 80% capped honey. Any other questions before we go and look at the bees? Now, when we're out there, feel free to, we'll ask a bunch more questions. Come on over and look in the hive. I'll be putting on a veil. I do have like 3 or 4 extra veils if people want them. You really don't necessarily need them. I'm going to wear ones because I'm going to be in and out right in with the bees, and they'll invariably want to sting me or something. And it's great. They sting my hand. I've got a glove on, and poor bee dies. It didn't do anything for me, but most people, you know, my mother-in-law is actually allergic to bees, and she was quite frightened when we first said we're going to have bees, and then she found out I'm having 2 hives, and then it's like, whoa, what are you doing? But I think she will. Yeah, that's one way. It's the mother-in-law, right? But I will tell you that she's out in the garden and right by the hives all the time, and they don't bother her. So they're not as people expect. There's going to be bees everywhere. They're not. They're out and about. They almost make you tired watching them. They are so busy, and they are going. And they will leave the hive and will and take off and go, and they'll come back. You realize where they got the term of going in a beeline, because they are just straight to where they're going and back to what they're doing. And so busy as a bee makes sense. Yes?
Do you have a half acre? What is the restriction in South Jordan?
Under a half acre is 2 hives. And for every 1/4 of an acre beyond that, you can add another hive. That's from what I know from South Jordan.
So if you have a 3rd acre, you can have 2?
You can have 2.
Call Mark Seatoller and have that straightened out.
Other cities, I know Saratoga Springs, they are just in the midst of a big battle with their city council on what their laws were going to be. You would think in the beehive state, we would have a single state thing that says you're allowed to keep bees. But lately, every city is trying to make laws, and invariably what happens is you'll have where they'll have made laws because somebody said some bees were annoying their children.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, block them all.
It was a wasp, really, or something.
Yeah, it was a wasp or something that you don't know what and where this came from. And what happened, at least in Saratoga Springs, they were very much, we're going to stop, you can't have bees, you can only do this and this and this. And then a couple of city council people, besides getting lots of emails from beekeepers and stuff, came and saw some bees. One of the city council members now is going to start keeping bees next year. Like, that was great. They were like, this is, that's all this is. I'm standing right here and they're not attacking me. Why do we think, they get these ideas. The other one that I love is when they say, well, but you have to keep them at least 5 feet from your fence line. Because the bees care what a fence line is. They're going 3 miles away. Why do you care?
So South Jordan been pretty friendly?
As far as, I called when I was doing mine to make sure that it was legal. And they said, it's based on your zone. Here's where the map is online for the zone. And you can do this. And they haven't cared 1 iota since then. I don't know if they've ever thought of, hey, we may want to change our regulation, but that's it. They've only said this many hives. So I kind of like that.
And we're the beehive state.
And we are the beehive state, so I'm hoping we keep more beehives. It's kind of nice to have beehives in the beehive state. Okay, yes?
One small thing, during the war, during the Nazi times, we had a German lady move across the street from us for about 1.5 years, and she said that when there was no food or no potatoes, like the stories as Chuck Benson talked about, that they lived on 2 teaspoons of honey, and it kept them alive when there was no food anywhere.
Sure.
And she lived through it to be a grandmother.
And it's got, all the different, it's healthy, it's all the vitamins, mineral stuff that you need, and doesn't go bad, which is good stuff.
That's bonus.
Okay, we'll go right up.